I'm be over here and be over there, TT. Right? And I'm sitting here, and she didn't like that. She was just like, stop calling me TT. I don't even like that. You're being stupid. And I was just like, well, go TT somewhere. And being stupid about it, right? And little did I know she gonna have her family or brother or whatever who might have been in the gang. They hop out the car with bike chains and start beating me with bike chains because I didn't call this girl TT on some bullshit. But little did they know, I got my own situations, and I was actually just protected. Nothing happened to them. They gone on and did whatever the heck that they were doing. But it is just what it is. Like, just learn to keep your mouth shut. And sometimes, like, some people just don't like the way you be joking. And I can say that a lot about how the world be doing it with these shadow people. That's why they be hiding their faces. They feel real comfortable out here hiding their face. But I ain't never been the one to hide my face. I've always been just the person. Because even when I was getting beat with bike chains, it was the same thing on when I got beat up when I was in preschool. All I thought in the middle of getting hit, I wasn't like scared or going, oh my gosh, what the hell is happening? I might lose my life type ass shit. I was just like, oh, it's like getting a whooping. And I was so used to whoopings, it really was just like, it didn't affect me. Like, imagine a guy, like most people, that's going to be a terrible situation. But for a person like me, I was just used to it. And it didn't really affect me that much. And then the third time I had ended up getting jumped, I was down visiting my mom. And I was hanging out with my sister. And some guy down there liked my sister. And he over here called himself wanting to prove that he tough and things like that. And I'm making fun of his brother because, like, I'm able to beat them in sports because I'm, like, really good at fucking sports and shit like that. But they don't like the fact that they losing. They don't want to lose to nobody. They're just like, how dare you? Blah, blah, blah. We from the city and you're supposed to be worse than us. Blah. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And I'm getting beat up over there because I'm better than somebody. And I'm over here making fun of a kid for not being good. But I guess that's just arrogance talking, right? My arrogance got me beat up on that. It was just like, ha ha, you can't beat me, But it wasn't a, you can't. And it wasn't even like I was getting beat up. It was more like I tripped. They were striking me, but I was more so in the middle of striking, just not really worried about them because I'm so used to like getting beat up. But I'm like in a defensive position, like really just stopping them from striking me, but watching my sister like lose her mind, like screaming like stop, stop. And like she ain't never like seen like no real confrontation, because even though she had been in the city and stuff like that, in her mind as a female, anybody getting into an altercation is like a big grand fucking deal. But she don't know that I had grown up in a lot of situations where I was getting in fights in both communities, white communities and black communities. So getting whoopings and having fights was practically a natural state of mind for me. So I'm watching her like freak out in the middle of this third ass whooping. And by that time, like I had never got like beat up after that. Like, cause I had been in the military, you don't really call sparring getting beat up. That's more so just like y'all sparring and training and stuff like that. So I feel like that's not the worst situation that I had been out by that time. Like I had been toughened up to such a point. By that point, like her screaming out of place, I wasn't even worried about her. But I hated going to my mom's house outside of that. Like I still forgave my sister, like, cause in my mind it's almost like she had just left me to get beat up, because she wasn't trying to jump in or nothing. She was just going freaking out and shit like that. And all I can think of in the middle of this was, what the hell is going on? And because I'm so unserious with the guy kicking me, and he can see like this nigga ain't even paying attention to me. Like he just stopped because he liked my sister. And the fact that I'm not even really paying attention to his little whatever taps he trying to do. Like I wasn't like balling up and like afraid of the shit. It was more so just like, I don't know why this guy is like attacking me like this, but I'm not gonna allow him to like hit me like I've been hit before. And yeah, but I hated going to my mom's house because she lived in a part of the city where they had roaches. Like I would visit her every other weekend. My dad on one weekend and my mom on the other weekend, because they lived separate on two separate sides of the city. And she had roaches. I could not sleep over at her house ever. I went to sleep one time And I woke up and cause I felt something crawling on my arm. And I swear to God, ever since I woke up and that roach was over my arm, ever since then, for years, I knew for 2 days, every other week, I was not going to be able to sleep because at that point, like I'm sitting here, I would be checking shit. I'd be balled up in like a corner or something. I'm sitting here sleeping in like the most awkward positions. I hated going over to my fucking mom's house. It was a fucking nightmare every time I fucking went. Like she lives all great and dandy now, but growing up was just a terrible fucking situation. Oh my gosh, I just couldn't fucking deal with it. But my dad, his place wasn't a fucking paradise either. Like, I mean, he lived better than my mom, I'll say that. But more so, it was a war zone going over there psychologically. Because when it wasn't getting whoopings at his house. We was like straight throwing hands. Like my dad was throwing straight fists when I was getting whoopings. He choke slammed me one time. Like I was playing and I was playing Mario Kart with my younger brother one time. My dad hadn't made it home yet. And we sitting here, I had beat my brother with the Mario Kart because he had the Nintendo 64 at his house. So he was able to play with his friends and things like that on a day-to-day basis. I hardly even fucking played, but I mean, I guess I had my PlayStations and stuff like that here at my own house too. But I guess, yeah, when I go over to his house, he couldn't beat me on Mario Kart. And he the type that if you lose, he take it all serious and shit, want to throw the controller and start smacking people and stuff. So he hit me upside the damn head, and he running and behind his mom and stuff to be like, oh, you finna hit me, all because I beat him at the game and stuff. And these mofos not doing love taps, like they hitting like they trying to kill you and shit. Like, I'm like, what you over here hitting me and weapons and stuff? And his mom is, since that's her only son and stuff like that, she was like super duper protective over him and stuff. She was just like, oh, this is my son. Like she kind of disregarded me as her own son. Like I was her known part of the family. But since I didn't live with them, it was more so I was more of a tolerance than anything else. Because it was always a my son type of situation. That was what she was saying. It's my son, it's my son. I don't know if y'all ever dealt with any kind of situations like that, but it definitely was a awkward situation every now and then. But my dad got mad because she like, I'm gonna have Anthony, my dad, that's his name. I'm gonna have your dad beat your ass if you put your hands on my son. I'm like, he over here smacking me all hard with controllers and shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? And she over here gonna tell my dad when he get home, I'm over here trying to hurt her son, and he over here gonna choke slam me for that shit. I'm just like, what kind of shit is this? I don't even want to fucking be over here. Some bullshit. I'm beating somebody in some Mario Kart. I get choke slammed and shit. Fuck that. Yeah, I was mad going over there too, but it wasn't always bad. Like we had some good lovable times hanging out. Like I remember we were supposed to be selling a four-wheeler, and we had ended up bending the handlebar because before, like an hour before we were supposed to sell it, we went off and did a backflip on the back of it, but I crashed and it bent the handlebar. And we spent like that whole next hour. Man, them handlebars are strong because you couldn't do it with your regular hand. We was both sitting there knowing if we didn't get that damn handlebar back, we was both gonna get our ass whooped. So we was just like, we was sitting there like, we need to get this damn handlebar. we was like, oh my God, please. We was on that fucking ATV. We found the hammer. We started smacking the shit and started moving at that point. So that was like, oh, we got it. We started hitting the bitch. We got it back into place. But man, for a good 30-some minutes, we was freaking out, man. We was going all kind of crazy. But yeah, shit. My dad taught me how to swim with that aggressive ass shit. Because he was in the military and shit, right? So he knew how to swim. And I remember this was before my brother was born. I don't think my brother know how to swim because his mom was always afraid of water. Like, I mean, deathly afraid of water. She was always on the bigger side, so she was always like one of those people afraid to like drown or some shit. So because she had a fear of water, she always gave my brother the fear of water too. Like he don't even want to go on boats and stuff. He's so afraid of water. And that's just strange to me, because I'm a perfect fucking swimmer. I love to swim, but it didn't start out that way, because the way I learned how to swim, we were at Wisconsin Dells because we would always visit our cousins up there because they was living up in Wisconsin and shit. And so my dad, he took us up to Wisconsin, and he gonna throw me in the deep end. He said, kick your legs. And I ain't never swam in my life before. I'm sitting here, just like, what the fuck you talking about? I'm drowning and sitting here swallowing water. I'm thinking if I didn't kick my damn legs, this was just going to be, oh no, my son drowned in the water. But I sat there fighting for my life. I was sitting there just like, oh God, please. He hop in and he going to put his hand up under the water because people start watching and shit. And I'm sitting here scared for my life. And you're like, you got to kick your legs. I'm like, I was kicking. I don't know what you done did to me. Finna kill me out here. You're like, you got to kick your legs. I was like, I was kicking. You're like, you got to do your hands. You ain't say nothing about no hands. And I'm sitting here dying, like straight dying. Fucking mad as fuck, scared than a motherfucker. I'm over here four. I had to be about 4, 3 or 4. I was young now, but terrified out of my mind. But I learned to swim that day. I was moving, and when I got it, I was excited. I still remember the excitement I had when I was just like, I was struggling to make it across the pool. Like I had started off from, like he had brought me all the way to the middle, like swimming with his hand under my stomach after I finally got used to kicking, and he said, use your hands. He didn't say that at first. He just said, kick your legs. So I'm sitting here because he know how to float. So he can swim like without using his hands at that time. I mean, I can now, but at this time, it was just like, okay, he put his hands under my stomach, and now I'm sitting here doing a doggy paddle, and I had made it from like the middle of the pool to the edge. And I was feeling good. And by the end of that day, even though I had did it a couple of times, it took me a couple while, but after a while, I was just like, I can't go too far. But then at one point in time, something clicked in my head. And I was like, I don't make it across this damn thing. I almost died, but I feel I can do this. And I made it to the middle, and I was tired than a motherfucker, but I was just like, kick your legs. And I started kicking, and I started to swim, and that's how I just ended up learning how to swim. And ever since then, I just knew how to swim. Yeah, but that was my swimming experience. I had died later on in my life, though. I did die. I have experienced what death felt like, and it was soothing. It was a soothing experience. Fearful, and I did see another side. I saw an other side where I was actually able, believe it or not, y'all can say whatever the hell you want, but how the fuck you gonna try to tell me what the hell I saw? I know I was dead. I know I didn't have no fucking body. I literally saw black fucking like dementors, right? You see them things from like Harry Potter, that's what they fucking look like. And they came all around me, spread every damn thing out. And I was just like, oh shit. Like they weren't the ones to take me, but that was what kind of guided like the pathway. Because from that point, I remember I felt like I could still see within my body, but I wasn't in my body no more. And then at that point, I went into a whole new fucking space of existence. And that was my fucking death experience, man. I can get very in tune and in depth with it, but I feel like too many fucking people are just like way too into like trying to disagree with something or try to dismiss something that they themselves are like, oh, well, you can't prove that. Like, I know what it feels like when your heart stops and you just don't feel what your body feels like. It wasn't a pass out. I passed out. I blacked out. I understand the whole time I had a consciousness that wasn't in my body. So I did feel that. And I know the difference. Like, I studying psychology and understanding like myself, and I'm not going crazy and things like that, and all the experiences I've experienced with drugs and without them, on substances and things like that. I know the difference between what is one thing or another and what's a hallucination and things like that. This was a very real experience, and a lot of people are going to want to dismiss it for whatever it is that they want to dismiss it for going on. I'll get past the subject. I know what I experienced. My proof is in the experience, and I don't need anybody else to go on however the hell they want to fucking go do it. So they can go and do what the fuck they want to do. I know I live my life. I know I live my experience, and I'm going to just leave it at that. Because, man, I'm going to say, heck, I've seen it on both ends, where I've experienced it myself, and I've also seen it happen to other people firsthand. And that's a crazy life-changing experience, because I've seen it multiple times within the military. Like, I've just seen the stuff, and the stuff is just pretty life-changing. Like, it's stuff that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's not like I'm traumatized from certain things. It's like, I guess I've been in enough extreme situations within my life throughout my entire life that I never really had to worry about questioning my own feelings on everything, but more so taking in and understanding what each situation was for what it was. And that's just kind of like going through the military. I met so many different people, and you meet some guys that have had some real messed up minds and the type of people, but you still love them for who they are. And I've met some amazing guys. Like, that was where you can be around people, and for the majority part, I rarely felt racism. Within the military, but I won't say that it doesn't happen. I have experienced it very minimized, but for the most part, those were some of the greatest people I've ever come to encounter in my life. And I can only say that by the grace of God and my beliefs, like, I just understand from the start of life, through the people I met throughout it, from my teachers, my mentors, the people in the military, everybody, like, everyone had a purpose. Every single person has led me to the path that I've been on, to the point where I more so recently have been able to understand this is why I was called to go do all those things in my life. And I got to say, every single person that came into my life had their purpose. So I almost really, when it comes to like the online people that be irritating me, to a certain extent, I might not know it now, but maybe I'll know it later. And I guess all I can say is I brush it to the side. I might not know why some of the people do the things that they do, but hey, maybe it's a purpose to it, and I'll find out later. And that's how I keep on moving on through my life. And the whole thing is I got shit on, literally. I was doing a medical pickup for school, and because I was trying to do paramedics, and we had to do volunteer work and volunteer hours, and like work on like the ambulances and stuff like that, do house visits and stuff like that. So we had a routine pickup, and we were picking up this lady from her house, and she couldn't control her bowels. Like, I mean, like, she was an elderly lady. She just couldn't control them. And this lady, as we're sitting in the house, I'm trying not to touch anything, because this is a disgusting house. I mean, they can hardly even care for themselves. Ringworm and all kind of stuff all over the husband and stuff. It was a white family, so you can kind of see how gross and disgusting it was on their skin. It was like you can just kind of see it. It was disgusting. And I was lucky I didn't catch anything from this lady, because when we had put her on the stretcher, she's in her nightgown and stuff like that, moving all fragile and shit, can hardly move. She just needs to go to the hospital. We put her on the stretcher and stuff like that, and we're getting ready to take her outside. But because we have her on the stretcher inside the house, to get her outside to the ambulance, we have to make a very tight turn, like tighter than what the actual stretcher is actually able to do, because the stretcher is like longer than the size of the door, and the turn to go out the door goes down these steps. And while we're trying to lift this lady up to get her outside the house, like we had to angle it to get her outside the house. So we angled this lady up, and now I'm on the bottom of the steps. I'm telling you, she lost her bowels. When we lifted her up, she started shitting, and I'm at the bottom, and it just started rolling down all onto my shoes and pants and stuff. I was disgusted. Like that's literally the reason I didn't want to fucking do paramedics and stuff like that. I was like, I'm gonna finish my school. I understand how to do medical practices and stuff like that, but this stuff right here, it ain't for me. It is not for me. I could not do it. I got shit on one time. And the craziest thing is this. I had seen blood, guts, massacres and stuff like that, all kind of crazy, like, shit all over the world. Throughout my life. Not just military, just my life. And worst experience was getting shit on, literally. Because it's just like, shit is one thing, but to see like how gross and disgusting this house was, and to see how all the ringworm and disease that's going on, like I honestly felt in that moment, like I didn't even bring those clothes or shoes home. Like I called after we dropped her off and she had her great graces to go and where she was go. I could never get out of my mind. And this is the last day I'm doing this shit. Last day. Like I finished my volunteer hours and my things for the school and passed the class and stuff like that. But after that, I was just like, no. I called my home. As soon as we were done, I was like, come pick me up and bring me a change of clothes. Because ain't no way. I threw them shits in the garbage. I would not want to bring none of that house into my own living space. And I was done with it. And I remember that. I could not do it. And I've been shit on literally before, so I don't know. I can't say she did it on purpose. She was a really old lady. It was just circumstance where people try to shit on you with these dumbass fucking videos trying to lower your self-esteem. Yeah, and y'all are not even coming close to some of the shit that I've gone through in my life, all right? Shit, I grew up fighting. Shit, I was getting in fights at school, and you would think I'd be getting in trouble. Like, why are you always getting in fights? Yeah. But should I come back to the urban neighborhood, once I'm done with school, I hop on the train, go back to mine, and I'm getting congratulated. They're like, yeah, that's all you got to do stuff. Because I go back and I tell them, I'm like, the only reason I'm getting into fights is because people want to cross lines. They want to cross lines where there were no lines to be crossed, but people just want to be assholes about shit. And you try not to cross those lines, but everybody want to have you act out of line. They want to see you act crazy, right? Like I'm sitting in class one time. At this point, everybody knows who I am. And I'm not sitting here trying to be a disruptor. And I've already proven I can get a perfect score on my SATs and stuff like that. I'm not no troublemaker or anything like that outside of the forced situations that people want to try to create. Like there's real troublemakers, and then there's people who are trying to curate circumstances so people look like they're troublemakers. Those people, the people curating, you're as bad as the actual troublemakers. You want to create someone into a scenario where they look like the troublemakers you want them to be, but they're not that. And you're just that bad because you'll go that far out of your way to try to ruin someone's life who's not that way at all. And you're forcing their hand. And it's not if they weren't that way, they wouldn't be in that way. if it has nothing to do with that, because you're trying to play two sides of a coin. You're trying to play a side where if they don't do anything, they're soft for not doing anything. And if they do anything, now they're the troublemaker who had to put up with a scenario in their life that they wouldn't have had to do it. But I'll say this, for those that have to put up with it, they become stronger in life because now they get an opportunity to understand what is and what isn't. So I do understand if there's people out there that these situations do happen, because they've happened to me. I've just been able to understand and witness them prior to them happening. And I'm not going to let anybody filter me into no scenario because they want to make their own selves feel better because whatever they lack in their life. That's not a problem that I have. I've gone through life where my own family has stolen from me. So when you have these people outside in the world trying to create these dumb scenarios and they want to steal my creation and try to act like I'm the bad person and things like that, and be like, oh, well, if we steal from him because we don't have our own creation, he can't use it and we can control the scenario. Like the whole Pepsi polar. If you all are over here watching the polar bear fucking Pepsi thing, I guess I'm like the reference of like Coca-Cola or some shit. I don't understand how this shit is happening, but yes, I will point the stuff out. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. They over here want to try to turn everything into whatever he does. We'll just do what he does, and then where we don't like him and we can't control him and we can't pay for the influence that he has, we'll steal it and then try to recreate everything he does, but we can't do it until after he does it. So I have to do it. And then that's why they want to buy like TikTok and all this other stuff to try to block me and shadow ban me and try to make sure they cut off anything from like Facebook and TikTok. Like, I can't even post on like my Facebook or Instagram or TikTok just to like post without them having like some type of a fake issue that they want to shadow ban and specifically gain access to follow and do everything that they can behind the scenes to make sure no one can see my thing unless you're like my friend. And then they can take that and then go create their commercials and stuff like that. Because even like using the chat GPTs, they're like reading your prompts and stuff like that behind the scenes. So I just wanted to like point that out. Shoot, I've had people be assholes to me and I thought they were my closest friends and shit like that, right? Because we go out and we having parties and stuff like that. And they're trying to like forcefully get me drunk and shit. They're like, drink, 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 drink. And to the point where you pass out and you're just like, no, I'm done, I'm fine. And they're like trying to, heck, you never even fucking know with these, some of the people. Because I've seen one of them do some real fucked up shit to some other fucking person. So you never know. They could have been fucking doing the whole fentanyl crap that Matt Damon was trying to put my name on. They could, I never even fucking knew what the shit was or even heard of it or knew what the shit looked like. They over here, FBI and CEA, DEA and CIA, they're like creating these fake sites to use my name. Like if you search up Rodney Madison, you'll like see all this shit pop up and they're like trying to say these arrests and stuff. You ain't never seen an arrest, especially a black person in the U.S. who's ever gone through some fucked up shit and you didn't have like a mug shot or a photo to go along with the person. And this isn't like some identity thing. If they're a fucking criminal, then everybody should know what the fucking criminal looks like, right? Nah, they just want to be able to say, this person who we want to control the influence, they want to sit there and control the influence that I have. And then they go on about their business trying to force whatever it is that they can with my name. And I had to deal with that shit because I have real people in my life who taken me out to get drunk and pissed on me and shit like that, right? Like, and I didn't even know. Like, I'm blacked out. I have to wake up the whole next day thinking these people are like people I can trust and stuff who got me out here doing whatever. And I gotta fucking hear stories about they then pissed on somebody. And I'm like, fuck you, man. I gotta throw a bottle at somebody's mouth and bust it open because they want to motherfucking act like I'm a fucking asshole doing whatever it is that they think that they can just go be an asshole to me for whatever fucking reason. But yeah, these are the situations that I had to fucking go through in my life and stuff like that. Shoot. I've been in situations where I was